Have nobody that'll admit to something, or you don't have any way to make somebody say something. You can't get something from somebody they don't want to tell you. I was told by doctors that her back was broken once, and then it started to heal, and then it was broken again. The first time was intentional, and that what happened was the second time it broke, it punctured her liver, and her bowels and stuff was like backing up. She was 10 months old on the day she passed. I was there that night, and I called the ambulance, and they wouldn't let me ride with her, and I got to the hospital, and she was dead. I know somebody broke her back, but I just don't know who, for sure. I would never hurt my child like that. For somebody for what they say happened to her, there's no way. I don't have it in me. That's a baby. So I never had problems with CPS before that. My kids were clean, fed, taken care of. I might not have been the perfect mama because I was young, you know, and you don't know stuff when you're young. Bridget is Asmar's new wife. She doesn't know me. She doesn't know anything about me other than what she's been told. And it hurts for anybody to question something like that. Asmar wasn't there. He wasn't there when she died. I'm the one that had to buy her clothes and her funeral, plan all that. Nobody else did it but me. I had to figure out how to bury my baby. And there was so many people around her at the time that she died that I don't know what happened, who did what, you know? But all I do know is I didn't cause that to her. That's all I do know.
How did you find out about your daughter's death?
Well, Steve, I got into legal trouble back in 2002. When I was incarcerated, the chaplain brought me downstairs, asked me to announce my children, and I told him my children that I had, and at the end, he told me my daughter Ariana had died. Wouldn't tell me how, didn't give him a chance to tell me. I got up and walked out, emotionless, hurt, pain, confused, not knowing nothing. So I called your show, knowing 14 years of trying to fight and find out answers, 14 years of investigation of my own, asking CPS workers, talking to detective, went to the daycare, asking everybody that was around and in that area that knows anything, and I got one answer: none.
Were you able to go to a service or a funeral?
Well, actually, I was in the county jail before. I was already sentenced, waiting to get transported. And gratefully, yes, they allowed me to go, but unfortunately, they had me in shackles. They closed off the funeral home, but they allowed me to go. And just seeing my daughter there, I actually got to touch my child. And she didn't feel like a regular person. Most people that die, they're hard, they're stiff. My daughter was soft. I just wanted to hold her again, but I know I couldn't. And then they closed that coffin in front of me, and I knew she was gone. That was my last time I ever was going to see my child.
How long were you gone then before you come out and start investigating?
I did 3.5 years.
Okay.
But the day that I walked out of prison was the day my investigation started.
Right.
I went to every detective, every officer that was on the case. They kept passing me along. And I didn't know when she was born. I didn't know the time she went to the hospital.
Why is that?
Sherry just didn't contact me.
She didn't tell you.
She knew where I was at. She knew where I lived at.
So when was the first time you saw your daughter?
My daughter was born December 27th. I think I seen her maybe when she was 4 or 5 months. And
that long?
That long. And when I actually finally got to see her, it was great. I looked in the eyes of an angel. Right. She actually cracked a smile because she knew her daddy was holding her.
And then you meet her for the first time when she's 4 or 5 months old. She died when she was 10 months old.
The day she turned 10 months is the day my daughter died.
How much time between that day you met her and you went away did you get to spend with her?
I seen her twice, and that was it. And then I ended up getting incarcerated. Okay. No visits, no phone calls, no pictures, nothing. It was just a void.
Okay.
There's no way a 10-month-old is just gonna die The death certificate states homicide.
Did the police ever give you a polygraph?
First one was inconclusive, second one, she failed. There's no way a 10-month-old is just gonna die. The death certificate states homicide. During my investigation, I talked to a few detectives, and he actually obtained the death certificate for me. And I just looked, I just felt it was suspicious. But then when I read it, it said a T11 vertebrae was fractured. And if you don't know, I've done research. A T11 vertebrae is the vertebrae that prevents you from bending all the way forward. My investigation also said blunt force trauma.
So basically, somebody broke her back.
Somebody broke her back. And bilateral hemorrhaging. Bilateral hemorrhaging is blood building up in the chest walls of your lungs, not your liver. It has to do with blood filling up in your chest of your lungs.
So your belief is that somebody murdered
somebody? I mean, the death certificate states homicide. You was a former officer. Homicide is murder.
And nobody ever was arrested for this?
Nobody was ever arrested. Nobody was charged. Nothing was ever done. So I feel like you mean to tell me a 10-month-old dies, nothing? No.
Were you ever able to ask Sherry about what happened?
I did. When I came out of prison, I had to get my mind right. So when I actually seen her and confronted her, I don't want to talk about it. It's hard for me. I'm not ready to talk. But I told her, I'm going to give you your time, but you're going to give me some answers.
Do you think that Sherry would be capable of, you know, injuring her own daughter to such a degree of, you know, broken back, blunt force trauma?
No. Honestly, in my heart, I felt she didn't do it.
But you want today to find out to make sure she didn't. Because she's here and she took a lie detector test.
I need answers. Okay. Today, I mean, today is the day. Today is the day I get redemption. Today is the day I get closure. Today is the day my daughter get really peace and get the rest in peace.
All right, let's meet your ex, Sherry.
So tell me, can you answer what happened? 10 months. 10 months. There's no way a 10-month-old is just gonna die with nothing.
You think I don't know that?
Blunt force trauma.
Do you think?
T11 hemorrhaging.
Let me speak. You had your time. Can I talk to you since
Sure.
you want to talk to me so much?
I'll give you a chance because this is your time to give me answers.
Any other time I try to talk to you, you start hollering at me. You start yelling at me. You know what I've been through.
Because you keep dipping around the answer. I don't know.
You weren't there, Asmar.
You're right. You know why?
You weren't there.
Your choice.
I went through this. I buried her.
Not to allow me there. Your choice. You knew where my mother lived at.
Not you.
You knew my number. You knew how to find me.
You're like
Everybody
this all the time.
knows how to find Asmar.
That's why we work together.
Everybody knows how to find Asmar. No, we weren't together for your family issues. That's why we weren't together.
No, Asmar, because you put your hands on me and I didn't want to deal with you no more.
You grabbed
my
hands on you?
The last time you saw me.
I'm protecting myself because you jumped.
Don't act
Nobody
like that.
is going to touch me. Ain't no front because you know why? I'm a defensive person. Rather as a man, woman. If I got to hold you from hitting me, so be it. I'm going to hold you because you're not going to hit my face. You're not going to harm my body. But guess what? That got nothing to do with why you're here. You're here today to answer our 10-month-old
to why you don't know what you
don't know. Answer it. Answer my question. How did our 10-month-old had a T11 vertebrae?
Asmar, you weren't there. You don't know.
I don't care about me not being there.
If I knew we wouldn't even be here.
So it's only you and your
you
friends.
Don't know what
you right.
What I've been
only
through.
You and whoever was in the house. You and everybody else.
She was not only just around me, Asmar. You just sat on this stage and said I was a great mother.
So
what changed from that time? Asmar, do you really think I would sit there and let somebody hurt my child in front of me? Do you really think I'm that type of person? I have never been involved with CPS. I have never had no problems with nobody. You don't understand.
Do I think you were incapable? You capable?
You don't
No.
understand.